My stepdad is like a host. Been trying to push him in there because he's got a lot of knowledge. He's an attorney, done a lot of cool things in his life. I think it adds flavor to the show.
Okay.
Plus, he has a lot of kaleidoscopes that I'm trying to inherit. Facts.
Fact.
Yeah.
Fact.
Oh, he's got handmade custom kaleidoscopes, but I'm trying to get them before the kids get them. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of like a teacher's pet thing. All right. Doc, can you go ahead and tell people who you are?
James Mabry, just purchased Maisanos in January. And so we're giving our hand at slinging booze for a little bit.
Okay.
Prior to that, I was teaching at a university in Southern Illinois, very south end of Illinois. I've heard dirty rumors, people saying I'm from Chicago, and that's no true. We're 7 hours south of Chicago. So when I went up to pick bourbon barrels, it took us 9.5 hours to get there. It takes 9.5 hours to get to my farm in Southern Illinois. So
Do you still have your farm?
I do. Yeah. About 106 acres, a lot of rolling hills. Nice. Good deer hunting.
What kind of farm is it?
Oh, I had cattle. I had some hogs. Got rid of that because it's work.
Since you're honest, I mean, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you know, freezes up there, so you got to go out and break water, and you toss hay, and it's just not worth it. We did hay for a while, and I got tired of doing that too. So
So is it like anything like the movie Son-in-Law? Is it like one of them
No,
farms? You
not
have like
that
one of
bad,
them
no.
big machines that like you can get inside. There's AC and stuff.
oh yeah, my tractor
Okay.
had AC for sure, yeah, and heat. I wouldn't go
What
there.
type of music do you jam out in the tractor?
Depends on the day. I like country, classic rock, classical, hell about everything.
And or is it like an autopilot tractor?
No,
You know they have them, Scott, huh?
Yeah, the radar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
GPS control.
GPS control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And you so okay, how'd you find this place? I mean, it's kind of, you know, when you think Mississippi, I mean, everybody thinks that we don't have any shoes on.
Yeah.
And what drove you here?
Well, my brother retired out of the Navy after 28 years, and he was down here. And my wife, she's from Tennessee. I met her in Montana, and she told me I wanted to go back to Montana. Large landmass, very little people. I like that. But she told me no further north than we are right now. And so that kind of got rid of Montana for me. So she came down a couple years ago to a cruise in the coast, brought my old man down, and she said, hey, it's nice down there. People are friendly, and it's a good place to be. So,
So, Doc, do you have any cars?
well, I mean, not anymore.
You need to get you a
I
classic
got
car.
a 78 Jeep. The wife does.
Okay.
But, cruising's coming. Well, we got to get it running first. It was running when we put it on the trailer, and it probably isn't now.
So every year I stay with the dead end garage, all the C10s. I have a Ford Lightning, but I have also a custom Ruckus scooter, and I use that because I get to ride on the sidewalks. But I love cruising the coast. It's just something about cruising the coast. We do a bonfire right on the beach.
Nice.
We all stay there. Mainly we're drinking. I know you're a bourbon guy. We'll do a bottle of bourbon, but a lot of us are doing some Busch Light too. Yeah.
Now I like beer. Come on
I
now.
know. No, but it's
I drink everything.
Wait a minute. You talking about Busch Light?
like bluegills. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You know, like, I mean, it's a bluegill. It's just you find us during cruising the coast. Number one, we got our vehicles out there. Them bourbons hit different. Now we do drink bourbons out there. So okay, how'd you fall in love with bourbons? That's kind of was it a trend for you, or did you draw to it years ago before all the Facebook dads went crazy?
Long before.
Okay.
I found Eagle Rare 30 plus years ago. But it just evolved. You know how it is. You start out, you're drinking firing for effect, not necessarily flavor.
Yeah.
And but then you know, as a guy, we were playing cards a lot out in Montana, and we'd always just grab a bottle and play cards, drink bourbon, and it kind of started from there. And drank it before that, but then started honing in back. Probably then really honing in on it.
Were there single barrels back then?
I'm sure there were. Back then, he could buy Eagle Rare with his allowance money probably
Mhm.
with the cost.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
they
it's
were.
a sticker shock for sure.
Yeah.
Do you remember when you got into bourbons?
I think it was in high school. We used to go to a little drive-in. They literally would serve you beer and stuff out in the parking lot, regardless of your age. We'd play church league softball, and then go to this place. It has still there with a different name, and but we started drinking bourbons there. I remember one day one guy threw a bottle away, went straight up in the air and came down and hit him on the head. You know, so it should have been a sign, but it wasn't.
So I did like, I got into, I think 2012, I think it was a documentary like Netflix or something that made me go to Maisano's. Was that what? So I went to Maisano's and gave them like $150, $200, got a couple different bottles. I was just so tired because I worked like 10 days straight. I wasn't a big bourbon guy. Like Jim Beam and Coke was always my thing, still my thing sometimes. But I remember setting all the bottles down, open them up, and just watching this documentary and trying different bourbons. And that's when I got hooked.
Yeah.
And it was my favorite one was the Jim Beam single barrel. It was in that little ear. I mean, I got a guy named Justin behind me, but he knows a lot more about bourbons than I do. But what is that right? Like a teardrop looking bottle. Well, anyways, this is a single barrel Jim Beam, and it was just a good night for me. And then I got hooked.
Mm-hmm.
Went down a rabbit hole.
You can go there, yeah.
Well, yeah,
Definitely.
it's it's good. It's good. It just, for instance, I had a Sinatra Select. Not a big fan. You know.
See, I like. Now, your Sinatra Select. You're talking about the Jack Daniels.
Yeah. So I
Right.
bought one of them too.
Yeah, I enjoy the Sinatra Select myself. Yeah, they're tasty. Yeah.
Everybody's different. I mean, you're big into what was it, Basil Hayden right now?
That's kind of what it's easier to find right now, and it's one of the ones that I do like. But the bar that I keep in Jackson, I do legislative lobbying work, and 5 o'clock, everybody comes by and gets a drink before the night gets going, and I try and have on hand whatever it is the members like. So if somebody comes in and asks for something, I make sure it's there the next time they show up. So I mean, bar's probably as good as your bar probably, or close to it. I mean, it's, I got 20, 30 different kinds of bourbons, and everybody's got a different vodka they like.
Mm-hmm.
Not many Scotch drinkers.
That's disappointing. I like Scotch.
And the last year or two, I started giving away more cold water
Yeah.
than anything else. There really has been kind of a backing off of the alcohol among those guys. They just come in and get if I have a refrigerator full of water and beer, they get.
Mm-hmm.
What's
get
going
the
on
water.
with that? It don't seem right.
I don't know, but that's what they're doing.
Do you want to hop on with us? I think you need to. There's a mic right there. Tell them to plug it on the side over here. All right, all right, y'all go back forth. I'm gonna adjust the cameras, get him set up.
Oh, okay.
Talk about y'all's favorite first band you ever seen. We are.
Yeah.
We're going into
Oh, he found a squirrel. So that's it.
Yeah.
At any given time. They come back around. That's all good. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, lately, I've been trying to get into some of the scotches. One of my sons that lives out in Dallas is into scotch.
Mm-hmm.
So like Father's Day, he'll send me money to buy scotch,
Nice.
and with some recommendations. So I'm trying. I mean, the scotches are so diverse, so much more
Yes.
so than the bourbons are, and some of them you love, and some of them you don't.
It depends on the day too. Oh, and that's one of the worst questions I ever get asked is, what's your favorite? Ooh.
It depends on the mood you're in.
Depends
There
on
you
the
go.
day, depends on the mood you're in, depends on what you ate. In my scotches, sometimes I want a nice, clean Highland, something not very peaty. Other days, I want to feel like I picked up a jar of that peat and shoved it in my mouth. I just want that smoky, earthy, peaty. But
I got started in whiskey with Scotch. Not sure how, but it's just gone to the wayside now that bourbon's being recognized as a true American spirit. People are getting away from other spirits.
Yeah,
it does have a moderately limited flavor, but once you get over that 100 proof to 100 to 120, you don't know what you're going to get. You could get 115 proof and it tastes like caramel and vanilla and no heat.
Yeah,
really?
And yeah, where you could drink something that's 90 proof and it'll burn your mouth. So that's where the skill sets come in, I think, with the guys that are making this stuff. Being able to release those flavors at a high proof and smooth.
Well, the movements in the last decade has been insane. And so if you do find, people are spending money on bourbons, they're going to invest more in research in bourbons. Now you got technology too. And what, we had Connor and Chris, they're talking about like how that, they picked a barrel and it was just because it was 4 feet over, whole different taste.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
where it's at in the rick house.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. Well, the barrel it's in too.
Might
be a different. The wood maybe come from a different tree, and the different tree is going to have different grain. It's going to give you a different flavor. So it could be right next to each other in the rick house and taste completely different.
Was it Basil Hayden that did one of those? They did a from tree to bottle type thing, and they grew the trees, made the barrels from the individual trees, and then aged the juice in all the different barrels and released them in third size bottles or something. Oh, I can't remember what it was, but it was exactly that. The tree itself made a difference. It was the same juice, but all different trees aged the same. And it was very interesting to see the difference.
They may be still doing some of that because I've noticed that Basil Hayden has got several different blends that are based upon the keg. Some of them are with old port barrels, or some of them are smoked this way, or and it's on the label what they've got. They're all different. I haven't tried them. I don't want to ruin them.
Is that like the Rabbit? Was that with Rabbit Company? The bourbon?
The Rabbit Hole?
They have a couple of different flavors, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's that red one? Oh, that red one hits different. It's like a sherbet.
I'm brain farting.
Yeah,
I've got it.
You do. You have a selection. How many selections of bourbons do you think you have in that store?
I know we've got thousands of whiskeys that you can pick from, for sure. The exact number of bourbons I couldn't tell you. It fluctuates. I'm always trying to pull more in, so I don't have an exact number. And then it runs out. I got to replace it, which is something I've found down here in Mississippi is a pain in the hind end.
Not as easy as you would think.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Legislative guy over here, government relations guy. What's going on with all that? Why is that? Why is it pretty tough?
Well, it's pretty tough. First off, we just have a problem with the distribution system. The warehouse is old. The legislature just put $80 million into a new warehouse this year. Decided to go ahead and pull the trigger and do it, and it'll be highly great technology, and you won't have as much labor required to get the product out. It's not going to help us get more product into the state. I told you the other day, we're a pimple on Nat's ass when it comes to demand in the whiskey and liquor world compared to other places. And then we've got the big bad boys on the coast with the casinos who've got demand in contacts that they have outside the state that allows them to go and make those special orders and get product that way that the rest of us don't have. We can't go hang out in California and develop relationships like that, but they have people that do that kind of stuff. So it changes it. It changes it.
Yeah.
Do you ever when you, let's say, what was it like? So let's go to, how'd you purchase the store? Like, how'd you see it? Was it on like a Facebook marketplace or?
No, it was actually very difficult to find. the wife and I had been looking for years because we knew we did not want to stay in Illinois because it's kind of the worst place, vying for one of the worst places to live in the United States. But we'd been looking for years and weren't necessarily nailed down on a liquor store. We collected, so I mean that was always the back of your mind, right? When you collect, you're like, oh, it'd be nice to have a store, right?
Respect.
Yeah, or you know, hey, it's pandemic proof. They don't shut down liquors. Matter of fact, liquor stores are the ones that did the best during the pandemic.
When things get worse, you sell more.
Yeah. So we've been looking for all kinds of different things, and but I'd always kind of looked for liquor stores, and when you look for liquor stores, this didn't come up. So one day I just cleared all of the search except for Mississippi. So I didn't put liquor store. I didn't put any type of store. I didn't put any special county or anything like that. And it showed up, but not as a liquor store. It was weird. I'm not sure why they marketed it the way they did. But if you looked for liquor store, if you looked in Jackson County, you did not find this store for sale. And I mean, I didn't know what the store was, right? You know, I'm talking with my brother. He's been down here for years. And I'm like, well, I'm kind of looking at liquor stores. What would be a couple of good ones to have? He goes, like 2 I can guarantee you'll never go for sale. He said L&M and Maisano. They're the 2 big ones on the coast. He said they're just not going to sell those. And contacted the people. I said, well, you know, get some information, sign the NDAs, all that stuff. You know, they sent it down there. I'm like, oh, Maisano's. How about that?
Bingo.
Nailed it.
And
Was your wife along with the trip too? Is she a bourbon collector?
well, she goes with me to collect. She's a Jack girl growing up in Tennessee, and that's what she always tells Freddie. No, she says, you know, Freddie, she said, I buy your products because, you know, she bred dogs and he bought a couple dogs from her. And that's how we met him years back. And she's like, you know, I tried, but she said, I'll be honest with you. She said, I just prefer Jack to Jim Beam. And, you know, Freddie, he's a good guy. He's like, well, whatever, you know, you prefer what you prefer. So, but yeah, it was, she was right there collecting. She's the one that told me, she said, now because I always drank it, right? I mean, that's why you buy. And unlike most collectors.
Cheers to that. Cheers to that. Cheers to that.
I don't have much of a collection at my house.
Huh?
I don't have much of a collection.
Yeah.
I do choose to drink.
Yeah. Well, what she told me finally was.
Actually, this is why he has the podcast. This is the way he collects.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is we're talking about that. It's the memories. I remember my buddy Garrett. I bought a bottle of blends for like $60, but I just always kept it in the net, and that used to be like on the bar right there. And he just kept looking at it, and he's like, I've never had that. And then this one night, it's like, you know, 10 o'clock at night. I was like, dude, if you want to open that, just replace it. I mean, well, it's fine. He popped it open, poured me a glass, poured him a glass. We turned on and watched I think a Ben Howard live show, and just jammed out to the night. And he goes, that was a cool experience. He went by the next day to I think 5 or 6 liquor stores and didn't find anything. Tried everywhere. And then I think he got a 14-year Glenlivet, was it? He got a nice bottle of scotch to replace it. But we also opened that.
Yeah.
But that's what me and Scott and Garrett, my friends. I do have some friends that I'm not gonna name their names, but they got a bourbon collection, and I watch them like take a sip of bourbon, and I'm just like, is this another NFT? Are you buying all the bourbon so I can't get one?
Well, she told me, she said, you need to buy 2. One to drink, one to put in your collection. I'm not going to argue with her. Makes sense. Because I always wanted to try it. And when we did our collecting, it wasn't about what's the hardest to get or the most allocated. It was, what have I not had? And that's what we did. We went around. I mean, we got stuff in the collection that's $12, you know, but I'd never had it. So we bought it. We tried it. Some of it was fantastic, you know.
It's an experience though, right? It's
Yeah.
kind of like an outing.
Yeah,
Like a date
you're
night.
driving somewhere and you're just like, well, look at that little place. And we found some over in Missouri that, man, the dust was so thick on those bottles. And they were just pleased as punch. Somebody came in and bought that whiskey from them because they just couldn't get rid of it. Because they all drank Bush Light. Nobody drank the bourbon.
On those bluegills.
Yeah.
Look, it's at 90 calories. Yeah, it's 90 calories. Ultra is 95 calories, I believe. Bush is 5 calories lower. Yeah. Marketing. It's all about marketing. It's all about marketing. Yeah.
Bush Ultra Bluegill coming out.
Bluegill's, yeah. Bluegill is 5 calories less than Ultra. I think Ultra's 100, and then that's 95. But yeah, I think I started drinking Bluegills because my dad's friends used to have they always keep an ice chest in the back of their pickup truck.
Well, that's how I got started on the scotch, because my dad kept a bottle of scotch in his cabinet for his business partners, and they'd show up and there wouldn't be any.
Yeah.
And
Did you add food coloring or water or anything?
No, he tell me I need to replace it. So I had to find a way to get another one.
What's your favorite? Do you like at all of them? I mean, what's your favorite spirit? Is it spirit, right? What's your favorite spirit?
My favorite. I mean, bourbon's my favorite spirit.
I know, but like what brand? Like what is that one bottle?
Well, really, the Buffalo Trace, and then the progeny that comes off of that, out of that distillery. But if I can just get just a simple bottle, Buffalo Trace will be the one I'll go to.
What you got going on, Doc? What's your favorite?
Well, again, that's a hard one to answer because some days I want a scotch, some days I want a bourbon, some days I want rye. It's hard telling. One of my favorites got to be Eagle Rare.
Okay.
Like I said, I've drank that for 30 years. I like it.
That's did when I was behind the bar, push the most Eagle Rare because I felt like it was just the best bang for the buck. But we actually recently been doing a lot of blind tasting just to try to increase all of our knowledge. And it's a lot of fun because you literally don't know what you're drinking. You just, all right, this one's better, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And then put them in brackets, get down to the end. And what won my bourbon bracket was Basil Hayden, is what I enjoyed the most 4 days in a row against other bourbons. So I guess Basil Hayden's my favorite.
Bell Mead.
Bell Mead, yeah.
Bell Mead's me. Yeah,
Wow.
I like a cube and I let it sit for about 10 minutes. Let it,
Bell Mead, nice.
And Bell Mead. It's just that's that one. I don't know what it is. It's just you put a vinyl on, and I mean it's usually Arctic Monkeys. If I'm gonna have it in a weird mood, it's like, huh?
I couldn't imagine you being in a weird mood.
Yeah, I mean I have them days,
Yeah.
but like that Bell Mead just hits different. Just let it, but you got to let it sit for about 10 minutes.
Yeah,
and that's it.
Little delusion never hurt anybody.
Well,
I'm telling you, that's how I like mine. I like straight at first, but if you want to drink it, you gotta put some ice in it.
yeah, but Doc don't play no games like that. You see him? It's like he poured the ice back.
Yeah, it's like, where does this come from?
Yeah,
Dump it back in.
I don't drink ice. What are you doing? But he also said, because Barks is from New Orleans and Biloxi. It's back and forth. But it's funny, like y'all don't just have Barks. We like honestly, we think people up north are just mug. I hate a mug. I hate mug. I hate mug.
Now I'll drink an A&W, but no, I never did like mug.
But it's like you can't compare it to. I'm a Barks guy.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing like a Quay's po' boy, fully dressed with a bottle root beer.
See, that's funny because I was at Fayard's with a root beer in a bottle.
Oh, I know.
So I don't know.
Fayard's is right halfway in between my house and my office, and I can't tell you how many.
Can't beat it.
times
Dressed and pressed.
You just dressed. That's it. You walk in and you say it before they ask. Dressed and pressed.
Yeah, absolutely. When that was the island trip foods growing up.
Yeah.
I'm going to get Fayard's, put them in the ice chest, and going to the island.
Yeah.
Well, it was good. So Fayard's is really good for Julian. Me and my brothers get a full, cut it in half. Each got our bottle of root beer, and that's how my mom did it.
Yeah.
But I just go to Quay Bros because Bronson Quay is my homie.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Bronson and his brother, both of them. His brother won $1 million on DraftKings.
What?
Yeah, and Bronson won. Yeah, they're just a great family. That's their dad's Rusty Quave, the mayor, for like what 30 years.
Yeah, right.
That's where Rusty's always there, sitting there, like shaking your hand, kind of like Mahoney. Guido just said, "What's up?" Shout out to Juke Joint.
Yeah.
Oh, what's up,
El
Guido?
Guido.
Yeah, I love that dude. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm proud of you for getting that. I love that area. I like Maisano's, the style of it. I like the layout. I like how you continue to bring in selections. You got a powerful guy that works there too. Do you want to drop his name?
Jason.
Okay, he's the one that got me doing the slow. Was it slow rock?
Slow and low, rock and rock.
Yep. You got me hooked on that.
Cherry blossom in the one.
Kind of like Little Manhattan. Is it close? I mean, you know,
Slow and low is delicious. We use it in a cocktail, or we did at the job, and it was simply for volume because it was so good. You didn't have to take the time to muddle a sugar cube or an orange peel. You could just pour the whiskey over ice with a zest and a cherry, and you essentially had an old fashioned. We just took the time to smoke the glass instead because it's literally the juice is that good coming out. Now it's sweet for a bourbon drinker. It's sweet, you know, but it's rock and rye, so it's a little different, but it is delicious on its own.
Does the smoke thing really work, or is it just kind of like a?
I would say it depends on how you're doing it. Like I've always fallen into the stave smoke because it's much softer and sweeter than anything with chips. No matter how you smoke a glass, if you're using chips, it's going to have a harsh, unattractable smoke. Where when you torch a stave from a bourbon barrel, it puts off this sweet wood sugar smoke that really is nice, soft, enjoyable smoke in the glass. Now, I'm not smoking a cocktail. There's other ways to do that. I'm not all versed on that, but just smoking a glass for a little extra aromatics, I use a stave.
Why can't y'all sell more than just why it's just bourbons like spirits? Why can't y'all sell like cups of ice? You know, you see these trends on TikTok where you're making these they're making these crazy kind of like, to me, like a jungle juice. You seen that going around where it's like,
No, I don't watch TikTok.
you got like Baja Blast.
You mean like the liquor stores doing it?
Well, you
For the
can't.
people coming in?
Well, there was I think it was it Greg over at Canal? He was selling like, you know, just one, like a one bottle thing. What I think it was, right? No, he's not. No, I heard that he couldn't do it anymore because it was in a bag. So he got rid of that. Now he just stacks them up. I know he got in trouble for it, but it is I mean, it's happening. It's like these trends are everywhere now. We're like, let me get some of them 99-cent single shots, throw in Yahoo and call it whatever drink. It's kind of like a Mad Dog 2020 for me and you, Justin. That's kind of what I would.
Yeah, those that was 20 years ago. Last time I drank.
But that's what it reminds me of. So that's been a big little trend on that. And then, but I'm curious, like why there's so strict rules on spirit sales in Mississippi?
Well, you know, Mississippi is a really conservative state. We used to have no legal liquor at all. Everything was just bootleggers. Well, that was pretty powerful lobby in itself when they started trying to legalize it and taking that business away from them. Because everybody knew their bootleggers back home. And so, you know, and they would, I always said the most powerful contact that you can have with the legislators on the steps of the church. Okay, well, the bootleggers go to those churches too. But so it was hard to step over that line. So that was why we did dry counties and wet counties in this hodgepodge of beer and wine and liquor, city, county. I'm seeing right now a trend with the leadership that we've got at the legislature now, but they're doing away with some of that. They, for instance, did away with prohibition in Mississippi, which is actually the law, and they had exceptions to it. They've cleaned up all the what do they call them? It was like special licenses for entertaining venues and things, maybe a country club or a golf club or something like that, where they'd get special legislation just for them to be able to have liquor at their facility. They've taken all that and unified it and come with the standard law on it. That all just happened this last year. And so now you have to opt out if you don't want liquor. So they reversed that process. Instead of coming in, they did away with prohibition. So it's going the other direction. So
are they gonna open us up like Alabama or like these other states where you can just have an ABC store and just go in and get whatever you want type of thing?
Like, oh, you mean
Louisiana, you can get whatever you want. Well, it's happening.
Yeah, Alabama.
Yeah,
I have people come from
Alabama's
Alabama all the
really
time
messed
to
up.
buy from us.
Combination.
You can get, they got 80
Yeah.
stores over there.
I don't know. There's little by little an effort to open up to, like, allow you to sell glasses or
Mhm.
just to get some other products in the store just to help you to compete.
I mean, just in like products in the state.
Products in the state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like new stuff. Do people just not want to come here, or are we making it hard for them to get here? Type of thing.
Oh, as far as the products coming in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the problem is who wants to bring it to the state? Again, it's just gets back to the
They
same
feel
thing.
like we
Our
don't have enough
market
people.
isn't there, and when you have a product that may be very desirable, but you're going to sell it all before you ever get out of California or in Texas or Florida,
And we're like
and
40th on
and
that
it never,
list.
and it never gets to Mississippi.
Got you.
Be-
Yeah, that
you
answers
know.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Because what do we got? Like 3 million people in Mississippi?
We
That
have that many
sounds-
people?
I was about to say that sounds about right.
About
or-
right about 3 million people, and then like in
That's a
Illinois,
major
there's
city.
over 13 million. And I mean, the gal I used to buy from, she owns 6 stores. She gets more allocated than the entire state of Mississippi does.
Oh wow.
No
So,
way.
Yeah, yeah. Because I was talking to the United, I was talking to some people about getting some of that double eagle because I haven't got one yet, and they're like, "Well, we get 2 for the state." You
Well,
shouldn't-
I'll have one.
2. That's what I said. He goes,
I'll
"Well,
have
we go
one."
to our top 2 accounts," and I'm like, "Well, that makes sense. I'm with you on that." So I made a phone call back home. I said, "Hey, can I get double eagle?" She said, "Absolutely. How many you want?"
Oh wow.
Wow.
And the
Thank
thing,
God I still got a farm in Illinois. I can go up there and buy it.
but so for you, when you bought the store, you were like, "Oh, I can get me some."
Yeah, I'm on it. Yeah, it's open.
Yeah, and
up.
they're
I'm
like-
on the other side now, baby. This is happening. No,
Not
no,
for,
it's
not for
happening.
you. Not for you at all.
Yeah.
We do have special order. I could go into the store, into your store, and order that same product. You can submit it to the state. The state will submit it, and they're either going to honor it or they're not going to honor it. I don't know how well it works. I've never tried to do it. I see more of that in the wine side of it than the bourbon side.
Well, the wine side, people can ship up to, I believe, 10 cases per year from their winery to my store and pick it up there. Now, when it comes to me, from my understanding of it, is they pay the winery ships it to me, then I have to collect the state's taxes and whatever fee for having to jump through the hoops, and then they can up to 10 cases a year on wine.
Just like the gun thing. That's like the gun transfer of like $25 ordeal, probably similar, where you can order a gun online, but you have to pay the
An
pawn
FFL
shop.
to do it. Yeah.
You have to pay $25, $30, and so similar to that. That's what you're doing. Okay, it's crazy. I feel like
No,
there's
that's cool because they cut that out for a while. If you left the state and bought wine, you couldn't ship it back. You had to send it to your friend in Mobile to get it. You had to send it to your friend in New Orleans to get it. You couldn't have it sent.
yeah.
back
Well, I tried to buy it. I tried
So
to buy it
that's huge.
online and didn't know that it was illegal, and it didn't come. But I was like, I went to the pay, and because I wanted to get it was the lead singer of Tool's wine,
Yep.
and
I just had a bottle of that.
is it good?
It's pretty good.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
one
I was
day
in Scottsdale and stopped by a Safeway and got a bottle. What is it?
I can't remember the
Jason
name.
will know.
Yeah.
He's a huge fan.
I mean, there's certain things that you do, especially when you can't get it, you want it more. Let's be
Yeah.
honest. You know what I mean? If you can't get it, you want it more. I don't care if it's an Eagle, Evan Williams white label, 100 proof. If you couldn't get that here, it would make it kind of like when we had, for a while, we couldn't have Yingling here. Did you know that?
No.
We were not allowed to have Yingling
Yeah.
for years. We'd have to go, I'd have to go to Alabama, kind of like a bootlegger, throw me a couple cases in the back of my 240, turn it on big timers, you know what I mean? Coming right back over to state and get my boy got his case. My boy got, because I love Yingling. Now we have it and I rarely drink it.
That's an old tradition. There's a little difference in our ages, and I'll tell you, we did the same damn thing in high school and college, except we were going to Arkansas.
I mean, it's a rush, you know what I mean? Smoking the band is your fault. I think I loaded up that 240. I know I had at least 8 cases. I felt like an outlaw.
Yeah, but you're the most popular guy in town when you got back.
Oh, dude, it's
Yeah.
Latimer loves me. Shout out to St. Martin. But yeah, that was my thing though. Is like, because I've had was it the Rip Van Winkle? I was able to have one Mardi Gras a buddy throw a bottle at me. We're drinking on that, and I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but I was like,
I don't care for it.
meh.
It's one of the most overrated bourbons on the market, in my opinion.
What's that?
Oh, like old Rip Van Winkle.
Oh.
The 10-year, especially the old Rip Van Winkle, I just don't care for it.
The yellow one's one I was drinking out of.
The 12-year I found quite delightful. The Lot B, it's. I mean, I had 8 bottles of that one year.
But your feelings are hurt right now.
No, I didn't love it either.
Okay.
I haven't had many to try though. I've only done the 10, 12, and 15, and I feel like each year I enjoy one better than the other, but none of them are ever really home runs for me.
Well, the thing is, I was always wanted to try, and I didn't know what I was drinking because it's Mardi Gras. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So like I looked down, I'm like, oh shit, oh shit, and we wasn't even drinking out of glasses. I drank out the bottle, and I was like, okay. I was expecting, but the expectations because you never get to see it.
Yep.
Right now, like I don't even really know what Eagle Rare tastes like anymore. Like I don't get Eagle Rare that much anymore. But I'm not going to chase the dragon either for it.
Right.
Well, now that everything got so hard to get, it allowed all these other distilleries to pop up, and now people are drinking all these other spirits, and that stuff is not as desirable as it was, because turns out a lot of people can make good juice.
Yeah.
And people are starting to follow other brands.
We've got Mississippi juices now that we
right.
didn't used to have at all.
Got your Old Soul with
You know.
Cathead guys.
Yeah.
Oh, that honeysuckle vodka is not bad. Their honeysuckle, have you had that?
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad for vodka.
Yeah.
Indiana's coming on strong with their stuff.
Well, Indiana's been pumping juice out for years. At MGP, they've been using that for blending for years.
Yeah.
So and
independent
people
guys
say,
go buy that, take it home and blend it.
Well, and the big
age it,
boys were
whatever.
using it too.
Yeah.
A lot
Can
of
we
your
get
big
into-
boys are
Can we get
using
into
it.
like blending? Can we get a little more into blending and what is that? An understanding of the blending method, and you're seeing these other bottles out. You talked about it a little earlier, but can we get a little more detail about it? I'm like a Coke and bourbon guy, so I need to know. You need to educate me.
Well, when it comes to blending whiskeys, I don't know how to do that. I make cocktails. I didn't make the whiskey I was using.
Do you know the process?
I
Like,
don't know
how would
how
you
that
start?
works.
Well, what you'll do is it's about like picking a single barrel. They're going to send you samples, right?
Okay.
And then you're going to sample each one of them, and you're going to see what you like about each one of them. And then you're going to say, okay, well, I like this as the base. I like the spice of this one, so I'm going to bring that in. But this has got a lot more caramel or a lot more vanilla. I want that in there to pump up the caramel vanilla part. The nose on this one might be better. So you're just blending it together to get to a product that you're happy with.
Well, I guess that's kind of like cocktails, just finding a balance of all the flavors.
you would be pretty
wanna
good at
incorporate. You want to incorporate all these flavors, and you, I guess, test it until you get the right amount of balance of each flavor that you want.
Have you ever had his watermelon bourbon?
No, I don't get out much.
Let me tell you. Yeah, have you ever had it?
And I hadn't been behind the bar in over a year, but I was behind the bar the other night.
How'd that feel?
To get back, I was having fun. I tell everybody I don't miss it one bit, but I do. It's a lot of fun to get back there. I don't know. I just find a rhythm and a peace with it. I don't know.
But now you're with your GM at White Pillars,
Yeah.
and you'll be moving to your next hotel. What are you calling that place? Speakeasy, social club.
Siren Social Club is the name of the restaurant that will be in the Hotel Vela, which is 16 boutique hotel rooms. But that's Austin, and that's their project. I don't want to say too much about it. That's them.
Well, I mean, we got to leak a little bit.
Yeah. It's going to be dope, obviously, because Austin's the chef. Our guy that we brought up through White Pillars, Brendan, he's been with us since day one. Found his way behind the bar. He does great, super smart. We're going to let him do the bar program there. And you're just going to have to see the rest for yourself.
Well,
Can't talk too much.
October 19th, my Pink Dress Run drops. It's going to be, I think we had last year, like right at 800 people. So maybe you need to jump in there, get on side the street, because we go across the street.
Yeah.
We go around the aquarium.
Okay.
But it's fun. We got a tattoo artist. So you want to get tattoo? We've been doing it for 6-7 years. Just all our money goes to the Memorial Hospital.
Nice.
But it's just my buddy Cam and Kane that have Chandelier, bunch of buddies, and Stacy Captain Al's. I have a lot of friends doing it, but this would be a good time for y'all, like for people to know y'all are there. Hopefully, I'll be open in time.
Hopefully.
Well, that's our goal. Like one of my goals for the Pink Dress Run is to be able to expand it to all the local businesses.
When did you say it was?
October 19th.
I don't know.
I mean,
We're working. We'll
I want to see him in a pink dress with me.
We've had a few points where we thought we had a good date, and it's just a little here and a little there. It keeps pushing us back. So kind of just waiting until we get a real solid date before we start getting the expectations back up.
I'm just trying to get it out of you. You're not gonna give me anything.
I got nothing.
All right, hey,
for you. I gave you
so
what I got.
Joe, does Joe still play at your at White Pillars?
Old Joe Karuba.
Yeah, he said, "Hey, what's up?
He hadn't played in a while. Tell him to put some shoes on.
Put some shoes on, dude." Kenny Williams, Justin is the man.
Kenny, you're the man.
Let's see.
Talk about changing this whiskey.
The Boothbys, Justin is the man. There's a lot of like the.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you have an OF? All right. Mom is here. Mom is in the chat.
Only fishing.
Huh? Hey, Mom. Scott, say hey to your wife.
Hey, babe.
That's nice.
That's perfect. Nailed it. Yeah, I want to. Can we re-up?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, babe. I didn't realize I was fresh and ready to go.
So this ain't like I said, this is more like live, but it's a flow. People are going to learn from you. Oh, yep. People are going to learn from you though. That's cool that you have a passion for it though. It's not like you came down here, bought a really successful spirit store. I got to say spirit because he gets upset about it. The spirit store, and like that's cool that you have a love for it.
Yeah.
That gives the perspective because like people need to know that like you're not from here, but this is one of your passions you just shared with your wife, and then you're here now. How's the coast treating you?
Oh, we really enjoy it. Yeah. It's I had just built her a 15-acre lake before we left, and she was convinced.
What? 15 acres?
It's pretty big.
Yeah,
It's not
but it was only 40 feet deep. So
by yourself in your tractor,
Dude, I think that was a really low-key flex. Super low-key.
But on
Check
one
this shit
side
out.
of it, perfect. It was nice and shallow, and it went right up into the fields and the ducks and the geese. I mean, man, I was set for go. And then she says, "Let's go." Shit.
I got like
So you built it for her or for you?
Both of us. We both like she loves to fish, and we got to get her out in the water. But she was convinced that she was going to miss that water view, you know, because it was right out the back door. We go fishing and, you know, have something to eat, not have to worry about it. And then we got down here, and she's like, "Nope, you know, I'm good. I can look at the golf all day. I'm fine."
I respect
So-
that.
There's plenty of fish down here to be had.
Yeah.
My in-laws, I think they have 100 acres in Lumberton, and they got a log cabin. It's got the big beams, but it's like nobody's staying there because it's like a one bedroom. Their master's over the law, seeing and I think theirs is probably, it's got to be 10 acres, but they got their own pond. But like, look, they have where they don't have. I don't think they have a guest bedroom. You come over, they're like travelers. They got a RV, and they just retired teacher. But it is a good view if you get a big, like you made a lake. I mean,
Yeah, and that's so big that you pretty much not see the other side.
Oh no, no, it's not that big. No.
Oh, okay.
It's I mean, I put a little pontoon boat on it, and I stocked it with crappie because you got to have at least 5 surface acres, right, to have crappie. And crappie is one of my favorite eating fish back home, and I wanted crappie. So
you got a party barge.
Yeah, it's about 24 foot out on the lake.
What?
Yeah.
That's awesome. It's still there.
Yeah.
We need to just leave here now.
Yeah.
close up shop. Take a week off.
Dude, whiskey and crappie on the 15.
Yeah, bluegill.
Bluegills.
Yeah.
And bluegills.
Bluegills. We got bluegills.
Bluegills.
There you go.
That was solid. Where you at here?
I'm here.
Yeah. I think that's awesome though. Like now that I know, like you're passionate about doing this, so you're going to be successful at it. That's key. I mean, because there's a lot of people there are liquor stores here that, I mean, don't know what bourbons are. I mean, they just don't know what their spirits are. Can't really give you a good selection.
Yeah.
They do okay, but I call them more like the pints and the one-shotters. Like I remember Brandon Brosh's mom. She has I think the liquor house over there, and off of Washington.
Yeah.
And so she used to own one in Gaucher, like up by the Ingalls. And her main traffic was like the one shots. Just
Yeah, coming in by 99 bananas
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
leaving.
Yeah.
a little pine, little Jack Daniels here, little
Mhm.
Four Roses. I mean, which that there's different models.
Yeah,
Your model
absolutely.
is more of taste, pairings and goes with restaurants. And I mean, you have a selection. If you ever run out of anything, I mean,
I'd say, yeah, a high quality selection is what you got.
yeah. So if like a high end restaurant runs out, I mean, they can get a bottle, and you pretty much got, because you have your wine collection's insane. I mean, you have a big wine collection.
It's decent. Yeah.
I mean, to me, it's like a small little Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
I went to your aisle and looked, and I looked at the bourbons. I was just lost. I wasn't gonna act like I know what I'm doing
Literally
here.
a wall of bourbons.
No, it's a whole wall. You got a whole wall. You got a good selection of gin.
Yeah. I'm not much of a gin guy, but we got people like it, so we'll bring it in.
What's a good gin, Justin?
Well, once again, that's one of those things. But for cocktails, I always use Plymouth gin, just because it works so well with everything. But we also did a gin blind tasting, and Bristow from Cathead. Bristow's gin was my favorite.
That actually is one I can stomach.
Bristow's.
I didn't know they had a gin.
Had
Yeah.
the
You
Bristow.
get into
gin.
the aged, it gets even better.
Yeah.
Was you into the aged?
We
or
tried
just a
those.
standard?
Also good, but we were just trying we did a London Dry, we did the Mississippi, and we did, I think, Bonus. There's 4 or 5 of Hendrix. Try to do 5 different places.
Mm-hmm.
And Bristow's was my favorite.
Yeah.
Which was awesome. I love to truly support something from here, not just because it's from here, because it's actually very good.
Yeah.
Well, when I was doing director of marketing for Blowfly years back, that's how I met Cam. Like we were at the restaurant. I had these little mouthwash, little cups. So you get a Bud Light, but I would give you a sample of Freemason because Blowfly was in Gulfport. So Chandelier was in Gulfport. This is right when they kind of opened. And I would just, here, let me try this, because
Freemason was fire.
Yeah. So I'd give them a free sample, and I would convert them from a Bud Light to a Freemason, because they once you told them the story that it's made right here in downtown Gulfport, give me 2 of them. Where can I get the cans at? And
Mm-hmm.
and that was like a cool thing. But that's what I would do. That was like one of my marketing things I would do. I would promote, try this local drink, because it adds more to the community. Like,
Yeah.
it's just that was just cool. And I seen that. I seen a guy I seen probably a year ago. He's still on the shandy kick. I mean, now he's moving into a whole different, that whole different. I think Old Buddy's this thing now. He's on the Old Buddy hazy IPA. Do you ever think that you think we're gonna have a lot more bourbon shops popping up on the coast?
I'm not sure about that.
I think the selection of bourbon is probably on the rise everywhere. Letting a few vodkas go and bringing a few bourbons in, type of thing. I don't know about people just
More
open up and
shops.
being
I don't know about more shops, but
I
I
think
know
the
I'm doing the
selection's gonna
best I
grow.
can to get more selection in, and not just bourbons. I'm expanding scotches and ryes, which is frustrating. I mean, there's a lot of really good ryes out there, and it was the original American spirit, and a lot of people just don't drink ryes, and it blows my mind.
I like to cut above rye.
Cut above's good.
That's a good rye. And that's 1793. I think that's what it is. It's some number rye. Is it?
1792. Yeah.
I think that's what
Yeah.
it is.
17. Okay.
It's a green. It's a green number.
Yeah. It'd be
Rye's
1792.
always green.
Rye's always green. Yeah.
Rye's always green.
I didn't know this, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, you're teaching me right now.
Rye's always
Okay.
got a green label. We got a bunch of stuff from the Cut Above guys. A bunch of their selects.
He's doing some good stuff with his experimental stuff. That Tawny Port I got was fantastic.
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to try that one?
Yeah, I've tried. Yeah, I've tried.
That was good.
I think, I think I'm noticing though now is you're seeing it more in restaurants too. That's helping too. Like you're seeing a bigger selection because when I first met you, there's
I don't know if anybody got the selection we got.
no, they don't, but there's still people that are getting a couple things.
Oh yeah, adding to it. Well,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
they're changing out. Say might only have 20 bottles, but it was 15 vodkas, 2, 2, and 1 or something. Now it's going down to 10 vodkas or 8 vodkas or 6 vodkas. Like, you got the flavors or a couple like Tito's, Kettle, what's D Betty's,
Yeah.
and then aside from that, it's flavors. And then let's add one more bourbon. Let's add one more rum. Let's add one more tequila. Vodka's going to the wayside. Whiskeys or bourbon, especially, taking over back bar space.
What about tequila? So
Tequila's growing.
yeah.
So that's, I don't want to toot my own horn, but we got about 350 spirits on our bar and about 150 are whiskey, and then up to 30 rums, 30 tequilas, 30 gins. I got 15 Amaros. I don't even know where you can get 15 Amaros in Mississippi. So,
By the way, I take back what I said earlier about my bar compared to yours.
oh no, I'm sure yours is good. Yours,
Another flex going on
you asked. I'm just saying. On Spectator Award because we got over 150 wines. But aside from that,
Yeah, we got Smith, got Bomb again. Joey Brown said cut above's amazing. Ricky Riles, I love Ricky.
oh Ricky,
I'm telling you,
What's up, Ricky?
you must have an OF.
no, only fishing. That's all I do.
Yeah. What about celebrities hopping on these bourbons and vodkas? Are you for it? Do you feel like it's just a push for marketing?
I think it's very smart on their part. It's a good way to make a lot of money. And
Yeah.
that aviation gin is really good. Ryan Reynolds killed it with that. I know they all got one. They all got some, but that's just a great way to make a lot of money, especially if you can find a good spirit.
Have you found some that you're like, no?
Yeah. Long Branch. No.
Really?
Yeah. McConaughey stuff.
Yeah, it's not behind it. I used to love it.
Oh, well, never mind then.
And then
All right.
All right.
when did he pull from that?
Huh?
When did he pull from that?
I have no idea. I didn't know it's when you realized it sucked. You couldn't just buy anything and sell it. It's actually got to have something behind it.
Some flavor and
Oh, yeah.
Wild
Body
turkeys. I mean, there's just a regular wild turkey.
I'll tell you, the Cincoro tequila Michael Jordan got,
I didn't know he has a tequila.
delicious.
yeah.
It's delicious.
What's the rock? What's the rock one?
He's got the Terramana.
Yeah.
He's got the Terramana.
I don't like Jägermeister because Justin and Austin came on my show with a full bottle and they're like, cheers. Really? I think it's the Shockwave. I used to go to the Shockwave in those Springs, and I remember doing my first Jaeger bomb when I was 21.
Ugh. Jaeger bombs.
Whew.
Ugh.
I
It's
would-
the Red Bull that gets you, man. The Jaeger, like I tell everybody, is pure German engineering. You know it's going to work just how you need it to. You just can't drink too much. That's all.
Fish Coop
Or
says
any.
thoughts on Proper 12. What do you think on Proper 12?
I hadn't had a chance to taste it.
That's Conor
That's
McGregor.
Conor McGregor's.
It's not terrible. It's a decent little Irish whiskey. Yeah.
I do
That's
have.
a nice little backhand comment.
Yeah.
Not terrible.
Did you see the story about that? He went into a bar and I don't know, hearsay.
It's allegedly. We got an
Allegedly.
attorney with
Allegedly,
it
yeah.
right now.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
He goes into a bar and buys everybody at the bar a shot of his proper 12. And one of the men says, I don't want it. And he beat him up because he didn't take a shot of his proper 12.
I'd do the same thing if I'm Conor McGregor. Let's be honest.
Is that right? I don't know. I might have just made that up. I
No,
don't
it's
know.
probably true. It's
I-
allegedly.
I think- yeah,
You say
allegedly
what you want.
heard.
Yeah.
What about moonshine? I mean, I had moonshine one time. My buddy gave me, and he hit buried it in his backyard. Came from like his grandpa or whatever. And dude, I woke up pretty much in my boxers, my backyard, out for like a few shots of it.
Yeah, if you get it off the shelf out of a store, it's
No, this came out of somebody's.
It's manageable, right?
Yeah,
but
it's
if
not
you
the
don't,
same.
if you don't,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I had an uncle from Kentucky that he'd always go back home and always bring back a few mason jars full, and that was the real deal for sure.
Man, it hit different.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, fire. They can make it taste good still somehow, but because it puts fire in your throat.
No,
Good.
it does that, and it is prevalent. This is still Mississippi. I promise you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, people help me stock my bar in Jackson. Okay, and I have a good supply of real moonshine. Nothing that ever came out of
Allegedly.
the liquor
Allegedly.
store. Allegedly. At least that's what they said.
Yeah, that's good.
But also like there's some people around here that do homemade wines.
Yeah.
And ain't nothing like old blueberry wine come out of Virginia City. I mean, that's just because it is one of the things. Like I had a buddy's daddy passed away, Mr. Darrell. He used to make blueberry wine, and we used to watch him make it, and it wasn't bad. I mean,
Fruit,
I mean, it's kind of like it's like a jungle juice. Yeah, it's just
mush it up and let it sit type of thing. I don't know.
I mean, he didn't ever tell us his secrets. He gave me a glass and he'd sit by his pool. This is right when Nelly dropped Country Grammar. So I was underage for sure, but
Allegedly.
allegedly. Well, I mean, I think the whole idea like of spirit sale we're saying is always going to be is like break that bottle open and you share the experience with people, and that's what's cool about it.
Yeah,
and that's something that you bring somebody together like this podcast. You pop that bottle open, we all got a glass, and then now we're here.
Yeah, one thing I like to say that it'll do for you is lubricate your lips in social situations. It'll allow you to open up just enough to take a conversation much further than it may have ever gone otherwise.
That's I like how you see.
In
You
moderation.
need to go back to bartending,
no,
classic
because
bartending.
If you go too far with that lubrication,
Yeah,
you generally a lot of times there's a check written that the ass can't cash.
True. You get away with it. You can get away with it.
Yeah. A little bit goes a long way.
I can't quote it, but there's a famous speech that was made for the Mississippi House of Representatives by a judge. His name was Sagi Sweat, and the issue was alcohol, and they asked him for his opinion on it, and he gave a speech in which he waxed eloquent on both sides of the issue, and part of the language that he used is identical to what you just said.
Lubricate your lips.
Yeah, if you mean the oil of conversation and talked about that kind of stuff.
That's right. That's what it'll do for you. It'll give you just enough confidence to say what you really want to say.
Yeah.
But you don't always say everything you want to say. Sometimes it helps you.
Yeah.
What do you think about the movement coming in with THC coming in these drinks? Now, have you noticed that now they're doing THC and alcohol drinks? You think they're going to move into a whiskey, or could they?
I think that's flower power. I don't know about anything in a drink. I don't know how that works. I'm scared of it.
Have you up north? Is there anything going on up there?
Not when I was there. No.
I know people are doing cocktails with stuff. I don't know
Yeah.
about like the Ripple powder stuff that you put in and mix it around. It's like getting THC in a drink instead of from smoke. But I know in Denver they've been doing like THC cocktails, infused cocktails for a while.
Guido? Okay.
Yeah, you can buy in one of the dispensaries a beverage that has THC in it now.
Right.
Yeah. Really? Okay.
You can buy sugar cookies there now too. There's a lot of stuff. It's happening. Look,
A lot of
it's
product. Yeah.
it's in the next 10 years. There's gonna be a massive change on spirits, marijuana, and everything. It's just gonna happen. I mean, that's just it's demand thing. It's also, I mean, you sell a product, the state gets money off of it.
Mhm.
That's how the world works, right? I mean, it's just a situation where, I mean, they want
they get paid a couple times, right? Before it actually hits the consumer's hands.
I don't know how that
3 or
works.
4 times.
I think the state gets
yeah.
paid when it shows up, when it goes out, and when it gets sold to the customer as well, right? There's tax on all of it.
Yeah,
It gets sold
it's-
2 or 3 times before it gets to.
It's taxed from the grower to the manufacturer, and then the manufacturer sells it to the distributor, and there's a tax on that, and then then we sell it to the ultimate customer. There's another tax.
That's crazy.
So it's like a fancy name for a drug dealer.
Got to get that money.
And then you got to have licenses to do all this, and those licenses are
All cost money for the license.
are
That's
not
right.
cheap.
No.
Oh, like what do they do with? So what do they do with all of the tax liquor? Sales tax, but there's another tax on y'all. What do they do with that tax?
He goes in the general fund.
And where's that? Like,
General fund pays for anything and everything. It's if it goes in the general fund, it's just available to pay whatever you need. You can pay for schools,
Like
Roads,
pay
roads.
for
and-
roads. You can whatever it is that you
Somebody's
got.
time.
But it's not dedicated to any one purpose.
I'm still trying to figure out how this works. Well, I mean, you think, and so have you noticed? Have you pulled stuff off your shelf that's not? Is there really trends with booze, liquor, spirits? Like, is it trendy? Like, there's a certain a certain year where you're like, oh, this is popular, and then all of a sudden it's not popular, and then you're sitting
Yeah.
on a bunch.
Especially now with this TikTok crap going around. It's somebody TikTok something. Next thing you know, Taylor Port's going through the roof. You can't keep it in stock. Or
So maybe you should start
Should you
TikToking
start-
all the shit you got.
Yeah, dude, just call it dogs.
And, and if you've got product that you're stuck with, maybe you could have
I can get somebody to do
generate
a
a
TikTok
for
video
you.
on it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, we get stuck with stuff, and then just try to create a good cocktail, and that'll push us through. Put it on the menu.
But that's what y'all are good about, though. Like y'all, from y'all's drinks to the food, y'all always switch it up. Y'all always, it's an experience. You go to White Pillars for an experience. Like,
Yeah.
that's what you do. You go to White Pillars for the atmosphere, for the experience. That's that place you take that person for on date night on a birthday, or an engagement, or, it's just an experience. So you're buying. How does
I don't know. It's like, won't be sustainable. It takes too many avocados to make that many avocado toast, and we felt bad doing it. If that makes any sense, it's not sustainable, man. It takes too long to grow them. We're just got rid of them.
But I'm saying that still was a simple.
It was simply delicious. It was a simple dish that you could go somewhere and get slices of avocado on a piece of bread. But if you came to us, it was 100 times tenfold, like totally different dish.
But did you have you ever paired like a drink with like a dish?
Yeah, we do that all the time. When we did every time we do chef's tables or tastings, which are always available,
And that's a hit.
Yeah.
You could take anything though and make it.
Yeah, whatever we got, we'll go on the other end and add to it.
What's one of the weirdest ingredients you've ever added to a spirit?
Squid ink.
What?
Real sweet.
Squid ink, yeah.
Yeah, it's
It
real
was
sweet.
Strange. Had like it made me think martini real quick, like a briny flavor to it. And we did it for like a Halloween thing, so it was a black drink with squid ink. He was doing a squid ink pasta, so I did a squid ink
Well, I've had that.
cocktail to go with it.
One of the best pastas I ever had.
Yeah.
Was the squid ink pasta.
We
Yeah.
did it. I don't know.
It was a Spanish dish.
Yeah, and that's what he does. He takes things from around the world,
Yeah.
and he makes it his own and puts it on the menu. It's crazy.
Is there better in Jackson? Liquor stores have people will say this. Some of the expensive bourbons stay in Jackson. Is that true? Or allegedly?
They fall off the truck, if you know what I mean.
Yes, I've heard that.
Well, I'll tell you a story without telling you who. I went out to see a friend of mine one time, and he happened to be the commissioner of the Department of Revenue. And so I walk into his house. He's got 2 cases of Pappy's sitting on the counter. And I said, "You MF." He said, "I paid for it." I said, "Yeah, but now I can't buy it because you've got the entire state's allocation sitting right there on your counter."
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
so yeah, it does fall off the truck.
Yeah, absolutely.
Guess we need to run for office. Where you thinking? Where you want to be? A councilman? Where you want to go?
Office?
Yeah,
I don't want to be in any office.
I'll help you with campaign.
I don't want to be in any office at any
You
time.
wear the way you wear suits,
I'm
bro.
trying. I don't even want
wins.
to. I don't even want to be inside. I want to work outside. I'm getting out.
So let's talk about your.
Oh, yeah.
So you've been picking crap.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
But yes, I am the self-proclaimed crab man at this point. But don't call me for it because I don't get enough.
Well, that makes no fair. Now he's making exclusive.
Now-
right?
Yeah, yeah,
now we
yeah,
know.
yeah,
Doing?
yeah.
Now he's
Flex,
advertised.
flex.
Price of crab is going up.
How can I get some crabs?
Oh, you ain't shit. You ain't shit. I did just pick crab for 2 hours before I came here. Me and my girl.
I could do a barter system here. My wife's the best crab picker I've ever seen, and she loves crabs.
Okay.
And we might
We'll have to
I'm
link up
speaking
after the
for
show.
her here,
Yeah, I
but
got
link up after this.
Mom is good at it.
Oh, she is.
She's
man,
fast.
good. She's amazing.
Yeah. So Scott would take Oliver, and I'll let you speak on that. But my son, and they go crabbing by the pier, huh?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, he's been doing it since he's about 4. He just loves it. Just runs around. We take water guns with us and shoot each other while we're in between while we're waiting.
You ever
know?
notice the crab will try to shoot water at you? You ever notice that?
No.
You catch a crab and pick him up by his legs and he'll shoot water out of his mouth like
Yeah.
a little like defense system or something. It's funny.
What made you get into picking crabs? Like you had to have some idea in your head. I mean, you were like watching TV.
It's the easiest way to fish every day and always catch something.
Oh.
And I just like being on the water. I don't care what I'm fishing for. I don't care what I'm catching. And if I can catch something every day and then turn around, cook it, and sell it, that's like working without having to work.
Okay.
Additional revenue. Not that I don't do well. Thank you, Austin. I appreciate you. I'm just saying.
You have some favorite. Do you go back bay or you go out front, or where do you? In general, without saying where.
Yeah, no. Specifics. Where do you
Yeah.
like to go? Yeah, we're going floundering, right?
In the water. Yeah.
I'll bring him a tissue for the
Floundering is
tears
one
that
thing I
come.
love to do. I try to do as much on the water as I can, just because I live here. That's been one thing I was going to say to you earlier, but you already know. You said you came down to the water because you got the Gulf.
Yep.
If you're not on the water and you live down here, you're just missing out.
Yeah.
You need to be fishing. You need to be on the piers, the docks, the beach, the boats, whatever it is you got, whatever access you have. That's where the joy is down here on the coast.
I need to get a.
Another party barge and hit us up.
Well, what I was going to say is I need to get her out on a charter
Yeah.
to make sure she can take the water.
Yeah.
You know, she's all right on inland lakes and stuff.
Well, you
but
can get to the island. You can get to the island. Horn Island. It's like
Yeah.
9 miles out. Depending on where you're at, how far east in Ocean Springs you are, it might even be closer.
Horn is nice, but there ain't nothing like the river.
Rivers
now,
good.
see, I've got
If
a
you can't get to the
pontoon
island.
boat that I need to get put on a slip somewhere. I brought one with me. So, but it's not set up for salt water. So I need to be, maybe back bay, maybe the river.
Captain Al's got spots.
Oh, they do.
That's
Yeah.
a bit of a drive, though. I was hoping for something.
It's right here.
That's great for you. I don't live right here.
Oh, it is. It is right there.
It
I
is.
didn't realize
Yeah.
that was that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's like 10. I think
Dude,
it's
she is blowing that place up. I love watching.
I think it's
the
$10 a foot. I mean not.
Yeah.
I think so. I think it's like $10 a foot.
Yeah, no, it was. I went and talked to her. It's cheaper to put it in the water than it is to dry dock it.
Wow.
So yeah, I would definitely get. I mean,
Oh,
we
yeah,
discussed it, but
Once you do,
I was hoping to find something a little closer to the house.
I just don't. It's gonna be hard. I mean, you got Pelican Point. I mean, or the harbor. Is the harbor did addition jet?
I don't know.
Pelican Point's right there on Oak Street in Biloxi. You're familiar with Pelican Point?
No,
It's owned by
no I
Michael.
don't get out much.
That's the dry dock by the restaurant.
Yeah, by the old Margaritaville. Yeah, right there by Old Glotz. Yeah, but they got a call Pelican Point tomorrow. I love it. My buddy Brian Bozeman, shout out to Brian Bozeman, Melanie Bozeman, and his dad Mike Bozeman, and he's got his boat there. You call them before 5 o'clock, tell them you want the boat in the water, boats in the water, ice to ice chest.
Yeah, right there
Good
by
to
the
go.
old glass, right on the corner. And they load it up for you. Tell them, hey, I'll be there 8 a.m. They'll have the beer and the ice and everything in there, right?
Yeah.
And then I do it, gas it up and everything
I
for
think
you.
it's like about $400. I don't know the exact amount, but probably $300 to $400
And
a
they
month.
dock it up in the warehouse. It's not
Yeah.
on the water.
right.
Then they go get it with like a fork truck or
Right.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's I
had a
would,
friend that kept theirs there. That's all I
yeah,
went one time.
I would have done it.
Yeah.
Super convenient. You talk about show up, get in a boat, and leave.
That's what I want. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we got
We had a slip and out on a lake, and then you just walk on it, got on it, and you went.
Yeah,
Had
right.
Joey-
lift.
Yeah.
So
Joey
Yeah,
Brown said
yeah,
Cloud
right.
9. William said, "Oh, this is dope." Talking about the show. So congratulations, guys. I know we hit that we're at an hour, 10 minutes around there, but I appreciate you coming on. Go ahead and plug your place. You can look at that camera, tell anybody what you want. Justin, go tell everybody your address,
You
crab,
go.
yeah.
all
Where you crabbing? Yeah. We
everything.
need to know where exactly you're crabbing.
Terrible, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, right there in camera, just go ahead and tell them. Just tell everybody how they can find you.
Well, we're right there on Benville Boulevard in Ocean Springs, next to Aztecas, pretty well. Come in and see us. We've got decent selection. We're always trying to make it a little better. We got a bunch of hand selects coming in. We had the old Dominic this evening, but we got 4 roses. I got a Penelope Architect and some toasted and 1792 barrel proofs. I got all kinds of stuff coming in. We've picked probably close to 30 barrels. There was a little lag from when Jonathan got out and I got in before I could start picking, but I've got probably 30 barrels coming. So swing by. We're doing some ordering as well for people. Like you were saying, a special order. And if it's available in the States, you can get it. If it's not, we can't, of course. But we've been bringing some different things in for people. So, we're here to help.
And then go meet them if you're curious. Go meet Doc. Just go say hey to him and just meet him. And him and his wife are making this place home. So now he's a coast. I mean, I've been here my whole life. Now it's your coast too, and just have fun with it. I mean, I think that's what I'm saying. You got to break the barrier. That's one thing is we kind of clicky. I'll be honest about
That's
that.
funny, yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit. Not really, but a little bit.
We look clicky. All right, and y'all know Justin, bartender on the coast,
Holding it down at the White Pillars Restaurant and Lounge. Always there. Siren coming soon. Be ready for that. It's gonna be something special. I would say something unlike anything else on the coast. Just honestly, even aside from White Pillars, it's going to be swank. It's going to be the spot, and we're all really excited and ready to get it. That'll be in downtown Gulfport if you don't know. But
Swank, that says a lot.
Yeah.
swank,
And then
man. That's the only word I got for it. It's going to be something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Joey Brown's got that bottle old and peerless, and he said just this week, great picks. Need a 1792 barrel proof.
It's coming.
Okay.
It's coming.
Well, guys, support him because he's invested a lot of money in his shop, and he's down here forever. So go say hey, and we support locals. Anything to say, Scott? You want to say you love mom or something? Just right there.
Yeah.
I love you, Mom.
Now, actually, yes.
No pressure. Yeah.
No pressure. No pressure. I love you, babe. Very much.
And if you need insurance, Scott just got his insurance license.
And by the way, I actually got the license issued today. So
Shout out to Oliver Scott Insurance, named after his grandson, my son. Dope kid.
He really is cool as shit.
Thank you.
yeah, it really is.
When we
Really,
say-
really is.
and he's got a great loyalty club thing going over there that I didn't really know all the details of it till we got to talking the other day. It's so you need to look into doing that because if you keep doing business there, it pays dividends back. So
You talking about here?
yeah.
What you got?
Well, you come in and you sign up. We're trying to, the wife and I both are real big on taking care of the local people. And so we decided to start, we inherited an email list that was, 3,000 to 4,000 people, but most of them were from out of state. And so we wanted to try to take care of the people that shop with us all the time. And so we started a local loyalty program. We're trying it out, make sure it works. Details are on the website. You can go to, I think it's premiumwineandliquor.com and read it over. It's a lifetime thing. The threshold for getting access to everything is $2,500, but we don't start over every month or every year or anything. It's a lifetime thing. So once you get there, you get there. We get you put in a system. When you purchase something, it gets logged in. If you forget something that you enjoyed, we can look it back up and, well, it may have been this. So it'll keep track of what you purchased, not in a big brother sort of way, more of a, I had something, we get it all the time. Well, you guys, you told me about something and I can't remember what it was.
Oh yeah.
but it was really good. Well, now we can look back and say, okay, was it? And we can go then pull the bottles and say, does this look like it? And help people that way. But like when these barrels come in, we put out an email to the local loyalty program first to let you know the barrel's there, so you get first dibs before we send it out to the big program. When we get some of the more allocated stuff, we'll go to the loyalty program and put that out as well. I mean, here
Nice.
recently, some people are more into it. What we're trying to do is we're trying to figure out the logistics on wine tastings for loyalty people as well. So we try to do wine tastings. We were doing them every Friday. Then we got some information that the state didn't want us to do that anymore. So we shut down, and we're trying to figure out how we're supposed to continue doing it. But we want to get juice to lips, let people try different things. People get locked in ruts. Well, I only drink this or I only drink that. We'll come in and try it out. It doesn't cost anything. Just give it a sample, see what you think. And now we are allowed to sample on liquors 4 quarter-ounce shots is what we're allowed by law. It doesn't need to be in a special occasion. So that's like I've got these 4 store picks in. So I tell people, well, but try all of them. You know, I can sample you on 4 of them. So just try all the store picks that came in.
Yeah, it's cool.
And so that gives them a chance to try the new store picks. We've got some other stuff open. We got some tequilas open. We're wanting to do the wines as well.
Tough with the wines though, quarter ounce at a time. Ugh.
Ounce and
End
a
up-
quarter.
Oh,
Ounce
ounce and
and
a
a
quarter. I was about to
quarter,
say you end up throwing that
4
away.
ounce
That's
and a
terrible.
quarters on them, but we bought Corvins so that we can go straight.
Oh,
through.
yeah, hold
Yeah.
them. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And then we don't have to worry about them going bad then.
Thank you.
So
We got
that'll
the ones
allow
on
us to do that as well. And we got some other things we're trying to get started, but we're trying to get through the logistics of it
That's
with
cool.
the state. They've got, you read the what you can and can't do, and it seems like you can do it, and then you call enforcement and they say, no, you can't do that. Why can't I do it? It doesn't specifically say I can't.
Right.
Well, because of this. Oh, all right. I don't want to get in trouble, so I always run everything past them because my luck runs
It's
the
the way to do it.
my luck runs the, if it wasn't for bad luck, I wouldn't have any.
Yeah.
So I like to check
Yeah,
things out before.
ABC is not the place to practice, do it, and ask forgiveness.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
That's more of a FAFO kind of situation.
Well, I mean, you're doing it though. I mean, the thing is, you're here. You're
Yep.
doing it. So just take it how it is. ABC, I'm not a fan from how I always tell, but good. Like, it seems like you're doing a good job. I just got paycheck stuff, but
There's been rumors that we're getting rid of it. Is that
don't
real?
know.
Is that ever going to happen? Like, is that a
well, I mean, they're privatizing the
The
delivery,
warehouse.
right?
the warehouse.
So they're going to.
Um,
What's that going to do for us?
I don't know what it does for you because somebody's going to be making the decisions anyhow.
That's just making our deliveries faster. I mean, that's what all
Well,
the
Well, you would think so, but not yet.
Yeah.
just a lot of rules, guys. Just a lot of rules. I'm
lot
trying
of
to live,
stuff
trying to live life.
and things.
Trying to be a
That's right,
dad.
stuff and things.
Yeah.
I just got my minivan back from Collision Depot, so just trying to be a dad here. All right, guys. Thank you so much, and check us out on Audible, Spotify, and Audible. I like Audible, but check us out, and we love you. See you next week. I got my buddy Bruce is coming on next week. He's a car salesman. You're gonna love him to death. He's cool. He sells for direct auto. All right, we guys. See you. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Adios.
Take care.
Yeah.
Bye.
All right.
Let's see how you end this thing.